The homeowners would go with a stained concrete floor in the game room. They wanted a gym floor that could withstand both big and little feet. They would wind up choosing a Fuelastic surface from Robbins Sports Courts, which has been installing both wood and synthetic floors for more than 100 years, including courts for 19 of the 30 current NBA franchises. They've installed Fuelastic surfaces in more than 50 countries.
You get a very good-looking floor with solid playing characteristics, good shock absorption for a synthetic floor, the same friction characteristics as a wood floor, where you're not sliding too much or sticking too much, and the floor is going to be here as long as the facility.
But it would still be months before the floor could be installed. With the goals in place, the coast was clear for a representative of Robbins Sports to come in and test the humidity level of the slab.
We want to ensure that the slab has had enough time to dry so that the floor can be installed successfully. Vapor emission from a wet slab coming up underneath a product that's glued directly to the slab can create bubbles inside the floor, which is something that you definitely don't want to have.
It's also crucial that the floor is level.
We want to ensure that we're starting with a flat slab. When we put the game lines down, we don't want to see any deviation in those lines. We want to make sure everything looks nice and crisp and straight.
With those two details taken care of, it was time to clean the floor of any remaining debris. Then begin the installation. The first step is to roll out and glue down a granulated rubber pad made from recycled tires. Pads vary in thickness from job to job. Ours was 7 millimeters. Because the pad is porous, it is then sealed with a water-based top coat.
Typically, when we're putting the pad portion of the project down, we leave 1 inch of space around the perimeter so that when we're pouring the liquids will roll over that void around the perimeter, and that helps anchor the floor system around the perimeter itself and seal it as well.
Once the sealant is dried, a layer of a self-leveling urethane is applied. The following day, a second layer of urethane is applied.
Depending on the size of the facility, whether it's 2,500 square feet like this one or 20,000 square feet, whenever we finish at the end of that day, we need to wait until the appropriate cure time is passed in order to move on to the next step.
The urethane is followed by 2 more top coat layers, which are rolled on. At this point, the floor's true colors come shining through.
There's 15 standard colors that the floor comes in. We can do custom colors, provided we're given a swatch of what the expectation is for that color from the owner or the architect.
Anthony chose a Capri blue floor, which 4 days after the sweeping began, was getting close to completion. The final step was to paint the lines, including a regulation NCAA three-point arc.
You go in, just follow the measurement procedures, you lay down your tape, you go ahead and roll the paint, pull your tape up, and it's done.
A few days later, once the court has been given proper time to cure, this homeowner finds himself in pretty elite company.
They're all different. I've done some floors for some professional athletes. I'm very proud of those. Probably one of the biggest things that we are focused on is customer service in the aftermarket as well. We like to make sure that the customers are satisfied, and if there's anything they need, we'll be there to take care of it for them.
People that do this type of project usually want a top-notch product. They want to play on something that feels good, that is safe, and that looks good. And I think that's probably the bottom line.
One of my favorite features of the whole addition is the gym flooring, which is a rubberized flooring that's very easy on the knees, very durable, and still allows the ball to have a true bounce and looks great.
After a few months of planning and 6 months of construction, the project was complete, and there's nothing but smiles all around.